There's a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked. There's a difference between you and me. We both looked into the abyss. But when it looked back at us, you blinked.
Hi guys, I'm Gravy here, and this is a DC Legends video. In this video, I am going to be going over Wonder Woman, Champion of the Amazons at 6010. To be completely fair or frank, these are recordings that I did earlier. I've already taken her 7011, put her in PvP, and she's an absolute beast. I highly recommend leveling her up. I'm going to go through her kit, then I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the footage of her at 6010 in the last node of Heroic last note of chapter 8 Heroic. So before we get started, please hit the like button, please hit the subscribe button. If you don't like it, at least hit subscribe. And let's go ahead and get into her kit a little bit. So here I went ahead and I recorded before I jumped into it, because like I said, I got to record these in mass, so a lot of times I'll try to take like the footage beforehand so I can actually have a look up at her. A lot of her skills, I went ahead and just took them as high as they would go. At level 60, you're only going to be able to complete up to the penultimate level of the skill. I did that with all of them except for the last one, the passive ability for invincibility. Don't really need that, especially since it's random. In my view, of course, you might have a different view on it. Some others might tell you, yeah, you need it. But for me, I don't think you really do. So in any case, this is me taking her into the last level. And then what I'm going to do is, after I do this, show her here, I'm going to pause this video. Then I'm going to go into her kit. It's going to be at 7011, so you know, so that's why you'll see the levels up. But at the same time, it'll still just show what the kit is. Now, I'm going to add the typical team that I do. It'll be Green Arrow, it'll be Cyborg, and it will be Kid Flash. I thought about keeping a lot of tunes at 6010 so that I could have different synergies. But really what you're going to do here, or what I've decided to do, is keep like these three characters at 6010 just so that you get an idea of the damage. And then I'll later show them off in PvP so you'll get more synergies and stuff. So at this point, it doesn't really matter that much. I've also put it at 1x speed, which is excruciatingly slow. I will say that every time, but I also want you to see the animations, and it helps with catching the numbers. So as you saw there, for neutral affinity, Kid Flash at critical had 6,000. She had 31,000. Now, granted, that was against a negative affinity. So I'm going to pay a little bit more attention here, because as I record this, I do put it on auto and just like do whatever stuff I have to do throughout the day or in the morning. And then I don't really get a fair look at it. So you have Green Arrow, who crits on a negative affinity or a positive affinity at 10K. For her, let's see if she's going to go. Well, she's going to do her A1 here against what I'm assuming is, oh, that was a negative matchup, so that was 16,000. Okay, that seemed pretty hard. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you this from beforehand. I'm running her at PvP all the time now because she does hit like a truck. She has the benefit of whenever she gets hit, she'll do a Call of War, and that will then give her strength ups, and then she'll attack. So she's almost like a blue version of Arcus, except that she has an AoE attack. Arcus has one active ability that you do that helps him ramp up, and then he has his second ability, which does the double tap, and then you have the single ability. With her, she does ramp up on her A2, but then that A2 does lead into an attack, or it can lead into an attack. Then she has an AoE attack that is absolutely devastating, and then her A1 is also devastating. So we're almost done with the match here. Let's see how she matches up in damage. Crit 14K for neutral affinity, Kid Flash. For her AoE 37K, and it didn't even crit. Now granted, it's a positive affinity, but still there wasn't even crit damage there. Bonus damage 27K, that didn't crit. There you go. And then he crits, but of course he has hit chance ups and a lot of strength ups. So he's already ramped up full. So now what I'm going to do is go into her kit at 7011 and then go through the skills. So, and I'm doing this video setup again, so you'll see the video pop up in front of me. Now, what you have in her kit is on her A1. Now, the main reason I'm doing this is because she has an event coming up this month. Thankfully, they decided to give her the event and not the other rework tune from last month, whom I can't even remember at the moment. So guess they weren't that important. Damage to an enemy. This is her A1, which is double strike. Damage to an enemy, call assist. Already awesome. 50% chance to call extra assist. That's the legendary point. I've already booked this all the way out because I want a 100% chance for that call assist before it just goes up like, 80%, 60%, whatever. I booked it out because I want a 100% chance of another attack. So then her A2, call to arms. Apply 4 strength ups to all allies and apply plus 25% turn meter up to all allies. That is absolutely amazing on her A2. Then 75% chance to double strike random enemy after using call to arms, which is incredible because now after she does the double strike, then she calls assist on the double strike, so you have technically 2 attacks coming off of that legendary point. Here you have, and this is an example of where I won't ring this all the way out because 8 blue rings for plus 5% damage isn't really worth it to me. You make that decision on your own, but for me, it wouldn't be. Again, this is 70-11 at 60-10. I go ahead and take it up as much as possible. So, damage to all enemies, can't miss. Very valuable, especially if you're going up against a Harley Quinn. A lot of time what you're worried about is that if a Mystic attacks Harley Quinn, like Blue Flash, for example, if he does an AoE attack on auto and he hits Harley Quinn and misses, then Harley Quinn hits back and kills him, basically. So the fact that this can't miss, it may not do a whole lot of damage to Harley Quinn. It may do a lot of damage to Harley Quinn, but you know that she won't retaliate, and that's key there. Plus 75% crit damage. That is why her AoE hits so hard, especially when it crits. I did not take, so I already went through that. Riposte. Let's say it's that one. All right, passive ability. 75% chance to use call to arms on enemies that damage Wonder Woman. So when she takes damage, she does call to arms, then call to arms sets off all the strength ups for your team, 25% turn meter for your team, 75% chance to use double strike. That's awesome. And that 75% chance to double strike also has a call assist and a 50% chance of an extra call assist. So it's just chaining a bunch of vents all down the line. And then a 50% chance to counterattack with Goddess of War. So she'll even counter with Goddess of War, the AoE attack. Then there's a 75% chance of call to arms. That goes first. Then she does the AoE, call to arms, will do the double strike, then call assist, and a 50% chance of extra call assist. This is all just chaining back to back to back to back to back. And it's awesome. It is awesome. And I'm wondering if, because I haven't paid attention to how much this goes back to back to back, and I'll do it in the PvP video that I'll do for her that's going to be released probably next week. If this actually goes that way where all of these attacks are going off at once she gets hit. I haven't paid that close attention because a lot of times when she does her AoE and then does her A1, the enemy's dead anyway. So this will be a good experiment also for Nightmare Campaign. I'm going to make an announcement about Nightmare Campaign as well. Passive ability. This is the one that I didn't really mess with. 56% chance, and that would be 14, 28, boom, 36, 44. So 100% if I go ahead and ring that all the way out. 100% chance to apply invisibility on a random ally at the end of her turn. So random ally, because it's random, I just really don't mess with invisibility. I mean, it helps, I guess, but this is not an ability that I'm really worried about. So in any case, what I will do now is go back and show you her next video, and then we'll call that a video. And then next you'll be able to see her in action in PvP when I release her 70-11 video. Now, I'll already tell you this now. I put her at 60-10 in PvP, and it didn't work out well. She's way too squishy to be in that 70-11 PvP as a 60-10 tune. Sometimes that helps, sometimes it works. This time it didn't. She just wiped out that entire wave with her AoE attack. Incredible. And this is at 60-10. Remember, in this video right now, she's 60-10, and she just wiped out that whole entire wave at 60-10 on Heroic Chapter 8. Incredible. By comparison, even with the team weakened, Green Arrow did not do that. In fact, there's still 2 who have green health bars. So she does her call to arms, then she does her double strike. There is no, well, does that call that assist? That kills, oh no, that was on his own turn. So in any case, so she went ahead and eliminated that enemy on her A1. Like, she hits like a truck. Like, if you have the chance to get her when her event actually comes up, I highly recommend that you get her. You get her frags and then you level her up, especially if you're trying to progress through the campaign. If you're still in that early game or early mid game and you still haven't finished campaign, she is going to help you get through it a lot. That AoE attack is incredible. So, actually, we're going to just see her wrap up this match relatively quickly, and that will be that. The thing that I'll just say about her, definitely, when her event comes, I think it's in a couple of weeks. When her event comes, definitely go after those frags. Definitely level her up as much as you possibly can. Putting resources into Wonder Woman Coda is not a bad idea. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.